Salutations! Welcome to another episode of RWBY Review with your host and friend Mookies. Today we will finally catch up on the RWBY mid-volume finale, which has been a long time coming. It's only like 3 weeks into the hiatus, so I'll count this as a win for us. Go us! Let's get down to it, shall we? This opening shot with the wide open field and petrified soldiers really does make it feel like it's a war with stakes and on a personal level. We care about what happens, well at least I do. I don't know about you, but I'd assume much the same. Otherwise, why else watch a show you're not interested in? The Grimm I'm most interested in seeing in action is the apathy. How will they fare in this war? Will we get to see miniature characterization from minor characters, or even major characters, or have their will and their interest be drained from them? Will it be used as a subtle character study the way it was for Team RWBY back in Volume 6? Yes, King. Give them orders. Take charge. Fail spectacularly. We stand. I like we're getting to see Atlas from the perspective of its citizens, or at least the ones for whom the system is working. Still, it always makes me kind of laugh whenever the camera is focusing on random people going about their day, and then suddenly there's an announcement or they have to stare off into the horizon as they listen to some speech or something. I don't know, it's just weirdly funny for me.
Still just following orders.
Okay, Yang. Like, the still just following orders line worked for you once, so I guess you would try it again, but honestly, give it a rest. Not only are you being a hypocrite, you're being unoriginal. I guess it kind of makes sense since she's at least been consistent about questioning orders, including from RWBY, but it's getting annoying now, like that's her only talking point she keeps gravity dusting back to. I don't like this depressed, downtrodden, eyes downcast Winter. I much preferred her in Volume 7, and I don't know if she considers her encounter with Cinder a traumatic experience, as implied by her shaking hand, or perhaps just plain fear, being upset about not being the Winter Maiden, or worried about her place in Ironwood's army given his obvious descent into instability, mental or otherwise, or perhaps it's a combination of all three. I much preferred the calm and self-assured Winter who, even if she didn't know what to do, was still firm and about her business. This one seems to waver over everything, and while she still follows orders, she doesn't have that same spark or control over herself or her emotions. She's just sad now, always full of regret. Is this meant to be an exploration of her repressing her emotions from Volume 7, slowly opening up and showing what she really feels? Because, I gotta say, I wish she shows how she feels in other ways other than just staring down at the ground or grimacing. I don't know if this is RWBY's hands at emulating classical music, but Salem definitely should have been accompanied by a classical choir and conducted the fuck out of her invasion. I like that the show reminds us that Salem isn't omniscient. I refuse to say omniscient, and can be fooled. Otherwise, she's just way too fucking powerful and would instantly know everything that's going on in her domain or otherwise. Okay, I need a real concrete explanation for how Emerald's hallucination semblance works. We know she induces hallucinations on her victims by messing with their mind, as demonstrated and explained in Volume 3.
Headache. One mind I can handle, but two is a stretch.
How did you do that?
It does not physically alter her appearance or otherwise, and it is completely invisible to those who aren't the target of her attack, and everything looks completely normal to outsiders.
I know my fair share of liars and thieves. Stealing is an art of patience, coordination, and in a pinch, sleight of hand. But you didn't steal that ring in your pocket. You took it right before the jeweler's eyes. And he smiled.
Who are you?
We know it can be used on robots since it worked on Penny, which implies she has a mind like a human being. We know it can work on Grimm, apparently, even though they're supposed to be mindless. No, I don't think they're being able to understand and follow orders from Salem, or someone sufficiently powerful like a maiden, such as Cinder once she acquired the Fall Maiden powers from Amber, as demonstrated with the Wyvern Grimm back in Volume 3. Is enough to negate the fact that it's been reinforced into our minds repeatedly about how mindless Grimm are. How the fuck is Emerald able to cast an illusion upon a Seeker Grimm? Hazel is so fucking stupid. Like, it's implied that his sister Gretchen died in an accident related to Huntress training. They never specify. Is it a training exercise gone wrong? A Grimm attack? We don't know. Hazel's solution is to team up with the big bad of the world and destroy everything, including Huntsman Academies. If they reveal that she died as a result of the Grimm, his motivation to join Salem is 1,000,000 times worse and stupider as a result. He's going to team up with the master of the creatures that killed his sister, and his goal is to support our New World Order so that all Huntsman Academies, the only thing standing in the way of and actively killing the Grimm are eradicated? For realsies? I do like that we finally got an explanation for why he was convinced by her though. Hazel is the first of the group whom we now canonically know the details of the backstory with respect to how he met Salem. We technically knew about Tyrion's first from last volume, but it was an implication as opposed to a confirmation. She sought Hazel out specifically, apparently, pulled out her old trick of using immortality, her immortality curse, to her advantage, proving that she could not be slain and thus was far more powerful and implacable, inevitable, than anyone else. Salem used this trick to manipulate the first race of humans, and eons later she's still doing the same with the Hazel and presumably others. Hazel here is evocative of pain and desire, wanting to hold close everything important to him and grasping his dreams. But I'm not gonna feel sympathetic for an idiotic child beater. Do better.
You haven't done what you've done for justice. You've done it for yourself.
Oh, word? Like how you came back to humanity to be with Salem instead of the justice of uniting humanity and stopping her from destroying everything?
Heed this warning. Where you seek comfort, you will only find pain. So, will you...
I'll do it.
Very well.
Cool story, husband. Okay, what has Team Rainbow, stealing that from Judgmental Critter because I like it way better than the term I came up with, Team Brown, done this volume? They snuck into the Schnee Snowshoe Shipping Company, got that right, okay? Made their way up to Alice and then hid out in the Schnee Manor for a majority of the first half of the volume. I understand I understand Nora is comatose right now, but I really expected more from Team Rainbow. If they don't gain a far more active role in the back half of this volume, I'll actually be so disappointed in how little they contributed to the plot and actual action and everything.
Now what am I good for?
Oh baby, you're good for breaking the audience's hearts and also being best girl. This is heartbreaking though. I'm very glad we're getting some Nora development, even if it comes at the cost of her being comatose while it's happening.
Salem's monster is making Grimm faster than the Atlas military can kill them.
How can Blake possibly know that? And who's broadcasting this stuff? I need answers.
People are dying here too. Don't you have family in Atlas?
No. Mantle needed me. And to the Marigolds, that meant I wasn't their son anymore. And I made sure that everyone knew that I wasn't their daughter.
Well done on working in May's trans identity into the show and it coming up in a conversation in a way that'll be hard for bigots to claim was shoehorned in or forced. You know they'll try, bless their diseased little heart.
They've got Henry, yours have Whitley. You get what I'm saying.
I don't think you can compare Henry to Whitley, at least not anymore. Volume 4, I would have said sure, that's apt, a descriptor, but I suppose the characters aren't seeing that what we view as viewers when we see Whitley is alone, so I can't fault her too much for saying that.
I don't know about...
Which side are you on, anyway?
I really hate the whose side are you on anyway question. Team RWBY does not answer to that well, and neither do I, given that we just had a huge schism last volume surrounding that question.
We've heard that before.
There are no sides! We want to help everyone. We're all facing Salem together. And together is the only way we're going to get out of it.
Thank you, Blake and Ruby. I hate when characters try to force others' hands due to allegiance and loyalty. It's so annoying being backed into a corner. I hate that so much. I hated it when Elm tried it last volume. Hate it when May does this volume.
Her name is Jen. You want her to come out of the lamp? Just say her name.
Say my name, say my
Still answer
name.
one more question.
After all that, you're just going to give Salem the password?
No. I'm giving you the password. And hoping you'll find the truth for yourself.
Holy shit, he gave him a password. Holier shit, Emerald overheard it. I love the dynamic and relationship between Emerald and Mercury. I do ship Mercury. I like them as friends and as a couple. The fact that Emerald immediately confessed what she did and overheard to Mercury, her one friend, is in a place as demonic as Salem's inner circle, and the fact that he only cares about himself and her, doing his best to convince her time and again that Cinder is abusing her, and that she deserves better and wanting the best for her, and looking out for her. even if he's brusque and curt in how he sometimes delivers that help, and even if Emerald is never wanting to hear him out. I just love them, y'all. I'm not hating Tyrion as much as I used to, even with his murder of Clover, so fuck, I hate this and him. I love that RWBY plays around with camera angles and shots. This view, fan-fucking-tastic. More daring shots, please. Please experiment some more. It's always great when you guys do that. Okay, so Mercury just got a new redesign that's fit for Atlas, but now he's going to Vacuo, the desert with the heat, where Sun always keeps his shirt open because of it.
What are you two wearing?
This?
Ignore him, for he knows not what he says.
Hey, I may have moved to Mistral, but I grew up in Vacuo. It's not exactly a shirt and tie kind of place.
Is he gonna get a new redesign again for Vacuo? Is this the last time we'll see him until Volume 9, or presumably Volume 10, which is when the Vacuo arc presumably starts? Or is he going to keep his Atlas arc outfit, which I'm starting to think of as an improvement over his Veil/Mistral arc outfit? I mean, if it's good enough for Neptune to wear a sweater in Vacuo during that montage during RWBY's global speech, Mercury in his bitchin' jacket will probably be fine. I do hope that Mercury and Tyrion get in a fight, and Mercury manages to kill Tyrion. People forget that Mercury is a trained, highly skilled assassin, prodigious enough to kill his own professional of an assassin, abusive asshat father. Tyrion may be a serial killer, but if anyone's capable of killing him, I'd imagine it would be Mercury, and I really hope it comes to pass, maybe in Volume 10 or 11. Though I suppose they're probably gonna save that for Crow. I feel like him and Crow are gonna kill each other, but I hope Mercury has a fight with Tyrion where he beats the shit out of him. Hopefully. I can't hold out hope. This Mercury goodbye scene is killing me. Fuck. They've been together from day one. This is the first time they're gonna be apart, and honestly, I'm upset about it. Way more than when Team RWBY split up back in Volume 4. Half a series ago, now that we're in Volume 8. I don't know what that says, but I'm sure it says something.
We could be your test run. You don't know what'll be waiting for you inside, right? So we can go ahead to check it out. And look for Oscar while we're inside.
Jean being a man with a plan. We stand. You'll love to see it.
You want to go inside that thing alone?
Wouldn't you do it for Elm? Harriet? Vine?
I feel like Mara would for his teammates, but they wouldn't for him.
We don't let feelings get in the way of making the right call. Trading 3 lives for 1 is stupid.
How about trading 3 lives for millions?
I really had you pegged as the most level-headed of the bunch, but I guess you're just as naive.
Shut up and die, Harriet.
Feelings don't matter. The job matters. When you lose someone on your team, you move on. Replace them. Like Mara replaced Tortuga.
Who the hell is Tortuga?
And Winter replaced...
And who the fuck did Winter replace?
No! No one is replaceable.
Pyrrha. He's talking about Pyrrha. His love for Pyrrha and his teammates, his rage for their safety, unlocked his leveled up semblance. That's amazing. Poetic cinema. You'll love to see it. I'm so happy right now. And it's so pretty visually as well. I just love the petals and the colors. I'm a slut for color, which is why I love RWBY so much. So they need to bring back color, by the way. They've drained some of that from characters, especially Yang. She used to have really, really brilliant, vivid, bright yellow hair. Now it's just this tame blonde color, and I'm not a fan. Please bring back the vibrant colors to RWBY. Please don't desaturate stuff. Thank you very much. Why does he not see Yang's emotions? I saw someone say it's because he was respecting her privacy, but he just unlocked his new upgraded semblance, the first person we know to have done so. I doubt he would have enough control over it to single out who he wants to view the emotions of and why, given that this was a shock and surprise to him, so clearly he wasn't in control of it. So why wasn't Yang's emotions visible? Or why weren't Yang's emotions visible?
That's why you lost against Team RWBY. You try to fight how you feel about each other, so you'll never truly work as a team.
I find it hilarious that RWBY had to canonically spell out for the viewers why the Aesops lost against Team RWBY. The fact that they had to work it in to settle such a raging debate that still goes on to this day is fucking hilarious. It happened. If I have to accept Adam's death and his status as an abuser, you have to accept Team RWBY beat the Aesops.
Fine. We will drop you as close as we can to the monster.
You can't be serious. They're fugitives and traitors!
I outrank you.
I outrank you is the most satisfying shut the fuck up, bitch I've ever heard and ever seen in my life. Thank you, Winter. Thank you.
You don't like this either. In fact, you don't want to be a part of it at all anymore.
I have a job to do, and I'm going to do it.
Okay, I never considered it, but now I'm shipping the fuck out of Marrow and Ren. Their ship name I've just decided? Marshall Barks. I feel like Gang fired off her Ember Silica shotgun gauntlets way too close to John there. Aw, John's smiling so happily. I love it. I think Penny would love to know that Winter's experiencing all the emotions.
Oh, wait! What about Crow and Robin? Well, maybe if we get them out of wherever they're being held, they could...
No, see, you just don't get it! This is not a situation where everyone wins.
I agree that this is not a situation in which everyone wins or even gets out alive, but freeing seasoned professional huntsmen can only help them in the long run. It would allow Crow to help Team Rainbow and Robin to help Team Mantle. The Happy Huntresses. It makes much more sense to free them and get more numbers on their side and on their teams, but I guess the writers have something else planned for Crow and Robin. I'm glad that Klein isn't forever gone, or gone forever, and is written back into the story. I imagine he was banned from the grounds by Jackass Schnee after he helped Weiss escape, but given that Jacques is no longer in charge of or control of the estate, it's very nice to see Klein make his way back. Kara Eberly deserves kudos for how proficiently she's evolved as a huntress. I mean voice actress, but I'm keeping that in the script. Her performance has consistently improved with each volume, and she wasn't even that bad to begin with. She wasn't even bad at all to begin with, to be honest. She's got excellent command of her voice, and it's in full effect here in this scene. Whitley Redemption 2020 and 2021. Yes, bitch. Yes. I've been a Whitley stan since day one, and I'm really glad and really happy to see that he's getting a redemption arc. I really feel it was a massive mistake to have the only as of then yet undetermined Schnee sibling to be an antagonist to Weiss when she already had her father fill that role. The three Schnees, the siblings, grew up in an abusive, toxic home environment, something I know all about. I always found it really silly and a missed opportunity that Whitley and Weiss didn't band together and rely on each other to be a source of respite for the other. I even wrote a fanfic about it once. To be there for each other in their toxic household, having a strong bond as RWBY and Yang do. Now, of course, I know my experiences are not universal, and that there are many ways to cope with an abusive family, including Weiss's tendency to select isolation and have several songs written about it. But that wasn't what we got, and I always lamented that writing choice, but I guess a redemption arc for Whitley is better than him just staying an antagonist, so thank the brothers for that. And that Schneebling hug. Schneebling? Schnee sibling? I'm crying on the inside, but still.
Did you call anyone else?
Funny joke is funny. I liked it. Okay, the fact that we ended the first half of Volume 8 and began the hiatus with this scene is just fucking cool. I know they claim they didn't plan to have a hiatus, but I find it highly suspect that this just so happened to line up with the most evil place to leave it off at. Why is Penny apologizing? Is it because she's about to go retrieve the Staff of Creation from the vault? Is it because she was hacked? Is it because she was deathly injured and Ruby's on her thoughts, so she'll unfortunately pass the Winter Maiden powers on to her? And given how much she views it as a burden on herself, she's regretful that she's burdening RWBY with them. What's going on? So that concludes the first half of Volume 8. I have so many questions. In no particular order, what's going to happen to Penny? Is Cinder the Hound going to the Schnee family estate in the next few episodes? Will there be another fight? And how will it go if RWBY's there with her silver eyes? Is the Hound something that might be immune to silver eyes? Is it because the Hound might be Summer Rose herself who had silver eyes? Or the silver eyes burn away all the grim on Summer and reveal her true form if there's anything left? Why am I assuming that the Hound is Summer? Will Cinder successfully steal the Winter Maiden powers? What are Mercury and Tyrion doing in Vacuo? Are they looking for the Summer Maiden? Who will get to the lamp first and use the password, Emerald or Hazel? Will John's team find Oscar? Will Emerald recover soon? Will Mero and Winter defect? Who the fuck is Tortuga? Who did Winter replace? What is Glinda up to? Is Tang gonna be okay? Is Raven going to be relevant again? There's so much going on, and I want the answers immediately, and I can't wait until my mom's birthday, February 6th, for RWBY to return. Alas, it'll be a month to then still, and I've never been the most patient. However, to kill the time, I might partake in the JanuRWBY trend I see happening during the hiatus all over Twitter. So, assuming that I can make my microphone that's breaking down cooperate that long, I'll probably do that. There we go. How fucking hard is it to say that? Please, ADHD brain, fucking work with me here. Either way, here's to a successful, engaging, fascinating first half of RWBY Volume 8. If Eddie Rivas is correct in that this was the tame first half, I'm so looking forward to the back half of RWBY. I hope you'll stick with me on this journey and we can experience it together. Thumbs up if you like what you heard, thumbs down if you'd rather flip me the bird. I'll be seeing you soon. Until then, take care, friend.